Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again for the fourth ceremony in this process. Now you can see that I've hollowed out the calabash, and in the last video I was saying I was a bit anxious about whether it might be bitter and therefore poisonous, and I thought I might boil up a bit and try it, but I just tried a bit of this raw, this lovely white flesh. I just tried a little bit raw and it wasn't at all bitter, lovely and sweet actually. So I'm quite sure that I'm not going to be poisoned, but I suppose time will tell. So I've made these two lovely halves, and I'm going to dry these and make a lovely bowl out of each of those. So I'll just put them on one side. Now here's the flesh that I scooped out. Some come out in big lumps, but of course it's like when you're scooping out a turnip, not a turnip, well a turnip or a pumpkin I meant to say. You know, first of all you get some lovely big lumps, then you start scraping it with a spoon, and it gets a bit mushy. But anyway, so I fried up some onions and some red pepper, and now I'm going to drain the calabash. Where's my strainer? Just going to strain that, and there we are. There's quite a lot in there. Oops, someone's going in the washing up. Spit that out. There's a fair bit there, and I'm just going to bung it in and give it a bit of a stir around. What else have I got? I've got this garlic. It's frozen garlic actually. I'm just going to chuck that in, give it a stir. I've got these peppers that I grew in the garden, so I just put them in the greenhouse. So I could then get them cut up. There we are, cut up, and chuck them in. There we are. Yeah, perfect. There we are. A little stir, and what else I've got? I've got all these tomatoes I've grown. Some of them are going a bit off, so I better use them up. Let's put the soft ones in, and well, that's a bit mouldy, but anyway, I can just cut the mouldy bit off. There we are. Perfect. Give them a little rinse. Okay, there's some tomatoes. Just chop them up a bit. Okay. Chop, chop, chop. There we are. Now, I won't film the whole process of simmering this dish and until it's ready to eat. But if you don't hear from me again in the near future, or from anybody, you can assume that it was absolutely delicious. And I'll tell you more about it in some weeks or possibly even months' time, when the calabash bowls are ready to finish off. You know, but I'll probably, once they're dry, I think they'll be lovely and brown, and I'll be able to varnish them and perhaps paint them inside, and then they'll make lovely bowls for eating out of, perhaps for, in fact, eating calabash curry. Which reminds me, I haven't put in the mild curry powder. There's mild curry powder, so I'll just put that in like that, sprinkle it in like that, and I think a bit of turmeric. Let's not bother with measuring it. A bit of turmeric, and there we are. That's going to produce, once it's all simmered for an hour or so, produce a lovely, delicious calabash curry. Anyway, as I say, I'll tell you about it in the final video in this series eventually. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope that this series of videos inspires you to consider growing calabash. It's a very rewarding crop to buy. Thank you, to grow. Thank you, goodbye.